levels. I swear to God, if you go higher than a 6, we're done.
Violence, violence, violence. I don't like it. I avoid it. But violence likes me.
Yes.
Welcome to the much anticipated K.G.F. Chapter 2 review.
Much anticipated.
A little bit of a bumpy road in terms of the Chapter 2 trailer reaction, but we are here bringing you K.G.F. Chapter 2, released April 13th, 2022. Just fresh on our minds. We have just watched it. Cody finished about at 12:30, so about a little over an hour ago. I finished a little over 2 hours ago. And yeah, we are super, super pumped to bring you this review because wow, Cody, what a experience.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot to say. I have a lot to discuss, and I'm sure you do as well.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us know if the background music is too loud or if it sounds good to you. You guys want it a little louder. Let us know. I just want to make sure that it's not overdoing it, you know. So
it sounds good to me.
Good. Well, we have a lot going on.
Yeah. So I don't know if we really need to give this movie an explanation. But
thank you. Good to see you.
I feel like, just for if anybody is here in the United States viewing the podcast, then we should give a little bit of background into what K.G.F. is about and sort of what we have learned through watching the second part of this movie now. So to give a little bit of some idea of what's going on within the plot of this second half of the series here, we catch back up with our boy Rocky, or rocking star Yash.
Yes. They even show that on screen when he enters.
Yeah, which was really interesting.
It was cool.
Like, I noticed that the credits were popping up, like they're crediting everybody as things popped up.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Then he sort of walks in and has his name pop up really big and stuff. So to catch back up with him, and he's running K.G.F. And sort of that's how this movie begins. You sort of see his progression of him running K.G.F. and trying to get rid of all his enemies and
amass his empire.
Yep, get his empire going and sort of make sure that things are sustainable and he's not like digging for gold for like many, many years or whatever. He wants to make sure that things are moving quick and smoothly.
Yeah.
And Cody kept texting me during the movie. I just wanted him to watch it.
I was watching it, but there was like so many moments I was like, did you see this? I was like, no way.
But wow, like really taking the action to another level here.
Yes.
And yeah, all the entrances were crazy. I really liked how like they just took everything about action and really turned up the dial. Like Cody was even saying, like, how do you make a character like there's no way that they can make somebody cooler than this guy.
More badass than Rocky. They just do a great job at that. I actually every episode we record, I write down notes so that we have something to talk about during the episode. We can remember key moments. And what I like to do is I write plot points, but then I also section out notes and I write like just cool moments that I think are worth noting, and I just kept writing stuff. Like I've never wrote this many notes just because there was so much that was notable. Yeah, I think we were talking last episode about like, I wonder how this is going to be. I think we predicted that just like with Bahubali, we would like the second part of the movie better than the first because they kind of like once they see how popular it is for the second, they kind of like you said, they dialed it up, the budget, the everything, and this was the case. Yeah, in the beard, of course, they're like dial up the beard. We need more beard. So no, this is definitely that case. Or I was not disappointed. Like right off the bat, I was like, oh my god, this movie looks so much better than the first, and it's exciting. I love these 3-part movies where like it's chapter based. It just leaves so much more of an impact.
It's like John Wick series, you know, like how John Wick has like 3 parts to it.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
And they sort of just keep getting a little bit better as like the parts go on.
Yeah.
But for K.G.F. 3, you know, everybody was like, pay attention to the end credit scene and whatever. We did see it. I'm not sure where they're going to go from here. Like, so, sort of, I guess my question is, the K.G.F. series, as you know, 1 and 2 has followed Rocky. Does that mean, and I mean, major spoilers for everything. I mean, like at the end of the movie, he has the Indian Navy blow up his stuff at the deepest part of the Indian Ocean, and they're never going to recover those.
Thank you, G-Force. Much appreciated.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So they had him, you know, get blown up or whatever. What is K.G.F. Chapter 3 going to be about? Is it just about what happens with K.G.F. and we were just following the story of this one person? And then now they introduce another person and we follow that and like that empire? You know, I don't know where they are going to go with
I think
character in general, but
I think this is going to be reminiscent. I think part 3 will have that thing where it's going to we're going to see the second half of the movie more on the modern time, like the time period the narrator is from, and we maybe see them, you know, like you were saying, clean up the story, but also reveal to the world finally what's going on, because they're just kind of unraveling and figuring out, like, wait, this happened and they've been hiding this. We see the prime minister, she's like, I don't want his name spoken, I want nothing written down. And then the narrator made a really good note. The narrator's son, who is narrating it in this movie, he says that like what I tell you is like we can't continue this story in ink because it's made in blood, so it has to be told in blood. Kind of like that, you need to know it. You need to have been there in the flesh to like be able to tell the story and share the information. I thought that was I really liked the whole narrating part of this, and I thought they picked really good moments for it to pause and like for the narrator to clarify. I also love the intern who's like in the background of the narrations, like when all the kids and everyone were putting,
he's so invested.
Yeah, everyone was putting the hammers on their shoulder, and he brought out the coffee with something on he was holding it like a hammer.
So Biffer's saying the old man is going to get better and clear up the story, and Rocky will be born prematurely and see revenge. But when she's told him that he was pregnant, or she was pregnant, you know, she didn't look like she was that far along. So, you know, I don't really I don't really know.
Solar, which is connected to K.G.F. Yeah, because we were reading, thank you, King of Kings, that it was like this series that's like the violence universe or something like that. So I guess it's going to interconnect, and we're going to see. I'm really excited because like this is really awesome. We haven't seen this yet in terms of Indian cinema. We haven't gotten to that point of seeing more violent films like this. So this was definitely like really cool to see. We also, I think, really love our like the whole chapter-based system, which we don't get a lot of here. Besides, I guess the most notable one that everyone knows in the U.S. would be Infinity War and Endgame, and that was great. And it's never really done like that. Except it's cool to see that it is. We just haven't discovered it yet over here. So
it is an interesting way to do a cinematic universe. You know, it's like like I was saying to Cody, like while we were watching the movie, they're literally taking a villain, and then you're stacking that villain against another villain, and then you somehow make the main villain, Rocky, look like a hero. You know, because he's like, he's doing things for the poor.
Yeah, like Robin
he's
Hood
trying to
kinda.
build. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's almost it is almost like a Robin Hood-esque kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then he is almost what he is fighting too. You know, which I think at the end he sort of, when his wife dies, that's sort of like, okay, he's content, like he wants to destroy what he built so nobody else can do it. So it's almost like this weird, like, two-sided conflict where he is who he is fighting, but he is also doing it for the right reasons. It's really interesting. It's an interesting character. I don't think we necessarily see him develop in a way where he becomes more compassionate or something. I think the development of him is seen through the eyes of Rena, because I mean, at least the way that I was viewing the whole relationship between him and Rena is like he just walked up to her. He is like, "Oh, I love you now. Like you're gonna be my wife," and then sort of just doesn't really. We don't really see like if he ever really gets to know her. Like we just see him interact with her when we do see them together, and then
yeah, he doesn't have a lot of emotions, so when he does show them, it means something really important.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then he brings her to his, I guess, palace, and he's like, "Yeah, you're staying here now because you need to be safe." But then it's like, okay, well, then you sort of just like almost kidnapped her.
But then, yeah, and then she has to realize on her own that he's been doing good stuff besides.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, okay, she sees the people talking about him. They have the kids reenacting what he did in the first movie.
That was a really cool scene.
And she's like, "Oh wow!" So like he's protecting these people. He's giving these people their lives back, and he's building this community for them. So yeah, I mean, really, really interesting story writing there, and I'm curious to see where they go. I am curious too, King of Kings, like to see where they go with some of these. I want to call them spin-offs, but I mean they're also their own thing too, where they connect it back. I wonder if that's what they'll do. Like they'll create sort of like what Marvel does too, create those standalone movies, and then they bring them together in a K.G.F. Chapter 3 or whatever, and then that's how they sort of build the universe out.
Yeah, no, we definitely thought about doing the short. We are doing like reactions to footage. We just have to do it separately from the podcast episodes, but there should be some of that coming soon. One man who breaks down K.G.F. I wrote that down somewhere. That was it was because it was very much towards the end, and I didn't see it coming.
Well, no, it was him. It's Rocky.
Rocky's
the only person that can break it down.
Yeah, because you thought he was going to say that government guy, and it ended up not being that. Yeah, so if you want to go to the notes section, I do have a lot written down.
Yeah, let's hop into your notes. I want to see.
Okay, so for this first time, we like I told you guys, I read a lot of notes when we're watching these movies, so we remember what we can mention. But I actually wrote them down and put them up here so you guys can see them. They're not perfect. I just literally scribble while I'm watching the movie, but you get the idea. So, green is just major plot points, and then anything in yellow is just, I don't know if you can see this on a small phone. Sorry if you can't, but basically yellow stuff, if it's in yellow, is just really cool moments that I was like, I need to mention these moments. So, yeah, no, Biffer, the lighting the cigarette on the gun was something I wrote down. Derpy, good to see you.
Derpy, been a while.
So, okay, like, one thing I wanted to mention...
Oh. Just before we get into it, I just want to... We're getting a lot of comments here.
Yeah.
Biffer talking about lighting up the cigarette on a hot machine gun.
Yeah.
We will get to that, and that's why, for the thumbnail, I was like, Cody, you got to do that. Like, we got to put that on. Well, yeah, it's him with the machine gun. And Darsh, thank you for the advice and recommendations. Really nice. Do not worry. I feel like I know what I'm doing when it comes to the marketing side of things. So... we have some things to the work. It's just taking us some time because we really want to get some of these movie reviews out for you guys. With copyright stuff on YouTube, like our K.G.F. Chapter 2 trailer reactions, we had to wait like an entire day for the copyright stuff to be sorted out. Yeah. So there will be some shorter content for shorts and things like that we'll put out on here, and we do reels and all that kind of stuff. So do not worry, we got it all handled. All right, Cody, let's hop into your...
Yeah, and Mayor, thank you for the kind words. Really much appreciated. Mondel, next movie, K.G.F. universe will be Solar. Yeah, we have that written down. People were mentioning that. Definitely going to have to check all these out. We have so many movies you guys have recommended we have to get to. Anyway, some notable moments that I wrote down was... all right, I'm just going to cut ahead. We're not going in any particular order. I hope you guys can see this, especially on if you're on a computer, you might be able to. The Big Mama gun that Rocky uses, that scene, that was a great scene. I love that scene. And also the one where he shows up, they think it's just another thing of trucks with gold, and Rocky steps out of the truck and the song starts playing. When he starts doing the fake gun, and he points it at them, that was the one scene from this movie I've seen before somewhere else. I forget where, but I recognize that. 3 Idiots is on our list, definitely, guys.
Yeah, 3 Idiots is probably going to be after Pushpa, so keep your eyes out for that.
And Salam Udum, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
That's highly recommended. Sharma, what's up? Sting, what's up? Rudra, thank you for joining. Yeah, a lot of Marvel stuff in the works.
I liked the subtle comedy in this movie, too. It's sort of broken up because, talking about that scene where he gets out of the truck and he's just standing there like, and then literally like seconds after, everyone's like just going down. Also, speaking on that scene, we were talking about the boxer from Sarpada in the last podcast. What's his name? My God, what is his? I didn't even get it. He was like an unnamed character. I gotta find.
I see your comments, guys.
I gotta quickly find his name here. Oh, John Culkin, who played Vemboli. He didn't play much of a big role. I kind of feel like he got robbed a little bit out of that role there. He just kind of played a guy that got his hands cut off and.
He literally twice. Twice.
Kind of was hoping he would do a little bit more or have some more speaking roles. But I guess it was cool just to see.
Thank you, Matthew. Much
him do that.
Luca, someone asked for our favorite one-liner that is still stuck in our heads, and I'm just gonna have to go with the same one I think you're thinking, which is violence, violence, violence.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like it. I avoid it.
Offer closing soon.
Offer closing soon. Yeah, whenever he talks, because he doesn't talk that much in the first one, so all his talking in this is really good. Like, all his one-liners are just great. Yeah, CEO of India, that's a great one too. They're all great.
Yeah, One and Only Piece, that's another good one.
Yeah.
And we will do some old trailer reactions possibly.
Sure.
But
for sure.
Rocky to be saved by a submarine. I don't know. That's the cliffhanger on this one is really like, I feel like they built up a character that is I feel like they built up a character that everybody sort of like really loves, and then to see him in the ending of this sort of just, he kind of goes out in glory. I feel like, if he decides that he wants to die, he's the one that is going to decide that. Nobody else can do that. So, maybe that's how they ended off. I don't know.
What else here? I have a lot of notes, like I said, but the most important ones. Oh, I wanted to mention. Remember the thing from the first movie where he uses the guy he beat up his hand to do his hair back?
Mm-hmm.
He did it again. I was like, no way. So,
I'm also just looking through your thing here.
Yeah, there's
your notes.
A lot of stuff. Why bother? Oh, that was a thing that happened in this movie. Was his uncle was like, why do you bother saving these people and paying them and not just killing them off if you're not going to care for them at the end of the day when you're done and you're still going to make the work go no matter what. Thank you, and much appreciated. Mandal, welcome. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I see here we got the thing about the gravity and how.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
gravity falls, but Rocky's gravity sort of makes people rise.
Yeah.
Just a lot of great little quotes in here, and just such high entertainment. We were talking about the 8 Jeeps that he blows up. Is that's the one with the
police station? Yeah.
I don't know why I was expecting him to like go to Parliament and sort of just like destroy all the stuff over there. I don't know. But the whole thing with Parliament, I wonder what they're going to do. Like, he's sort of just playing. I feel like he was ready to be done doing the K.G.F. stuff, and sort of that's why you see him do his own demise. He could have went on and continued to do whatever he really wanted. Yeah, he is a monster. He does not care what goes on, and that's really it at the end of the day. And we did see the song at the end too. I wish that song
Yeah, it was the end
played.
credit song.
I wish that was the song that played during like when his wife got shot, and then that song started to play. Like you just see him like get angry.
Yeah.
What I really liked about this movie was that you actually see him struggle a little bit. You know, like he is getting fought, and he's somebody is actually like on his level in terms of who he's fighting, and he sees, oh my god, like, you know, he actually bleeds. You know, everybody sees that he actually bleeds, and that I mean, the whole point was for his followers to question him. But you know, I liked seeing that struggle, because I felt like the struggle of just being a kid, you know, like growing up the way that he did in the first movie and whatever. And yes, he did live a hard life, but then he like grows up and nobody can beat him. Now to see somebody actually on his level is really interesting to see. So that's sort of how I'm feeling about it. I saw you just put the poll up there.
Yeah, people were saying how they like one or two better. So one,
do you want to give your thoughts on which one you prefer, KGF 1 or 2?
Man, they're totally two different movies. More the first one to me feels more of like you know, more like a drama. I mean, obviously there's a lot of action, but it's more of like a romanticized drama, and you get to see the reason for his rise to power. But then this one was like, all right, we're there. Turn the dial to 11. This is a cinematic experience full of, like, the thing is with, I like them both, but I think I like this one better, because when you guys are saying what's your favorite moment, there are so many. There's so many good lines, so many awesome scenes. Like there's too much. I've never wrote this many notes. I usually write like, you know, 15 lines. I've never done you know, this many notes for a movie. Because I couldn't stop. I was like, every time something happened, I'm like, oh, I got to write that down. I got to tell everyone about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone was saying how the editor was young, and there were some problems with the editing, but nothing crazy. Everything else looked amazing. I think Luca and I agree our one problem with the editing was during the fight, the chase scene with with the 69 Mustang. There were some really really weird cuts, but then besides that, I personally had no problem with it. You guys seem to agree with well, okay, you know, it's 33% for KGF 1, 67% for KGF 2, 18 votes.
Yeah, that car chase scene was a big letdown for me, honestly. I really wanted it to just sort of play out, you know? I wanted it to be like, okay, they could do that little blackout cutscene stuff. But then it almost felt like it was just too choppy, you know? It was just like, boop, boop, boop. And I was like, okay, you know, I just wanted it to... They could do it in the beginning. That was cool. Almost like it was like a Mad Maxy kind of thing.
Yeah, and then kept going.
Yeah, and then it kept going. I was like, okay. Like,
but,
you guys, just let it play out. You know, you got this cool car. You unveiled this car. You know, it's a sick Mustang or whatever. And then, like, you just keep doing these, like, 2-second clips. And then it's like, it pulls me out of it for a little bit.
But honestly, for me, besides that, I was pretty impressed. I was like, dang, you know, you guys are saying 19. I think someone said he's 22 now, or he was 19 at the time, maybe, but still a 20-year-old who did this well at editing this movie. I was like, everything else was really impressive. There were some really cool cuts, like when they would be talking in like the 80s, and then they'd cut to, you know, action that was happening. Ooh, a lot. I'm missing out on a lot of your guys' comments.
Somebody, King said it was a contestant, not a Mustang. Which...
Oh, I swear it was a 69 Mustang. It even had the symbol on it. It's a contestant.
Let me look it up.
It's modified in Bangalore, kind of. Oh, okay. Well, a muscle car?
It looks very similar.
Okay.
It looks very similar.
Well, it's an awesome car. I dig that. I love those kind of cars, like classic muscle car looking. Best scenes was Ramachandra PM scene with Rocky. And yeah, that was when he was in her office. That was like, all right, what's gonna happen? Yeah. Yeah, you guys are all talking about Solar.
Oh yeah, I preferred. I'm just gonna give my thoughts real quick on KGF 1 or 2. I mean, KGF 2. Obviously, I think if we're going for the entertainment value of of the two. Definitely KGF 2 takes the win on that, just because it's bigger and better, right? It's there's more action in it. There's more, you know, people are just getting messed up. It's a little bit darker than the first one. And KGF 1, I would say, is a little bit better in terms of, I guess, the story, kind of get a little bit more of the writing in that. So they're both good in their own right. But for me, I like KGF 2 over the first one just because it's a lot more, it's just crazier, like I just loved it. So the cinematography, I thought the cinematography was good. I think they did a great job with how everything looked. I liked that things were a little bit darker than the first one in terms of like the saturation and things like that. And it was nice to see the budget differences between the two. It's like we had the CGI work, although in this one there wasn't much in the other one, I don't think. But in this one, the planes and all that kind of stuff looked sometimes a little janky. But still overall great cinematography, great story. So I'm excited to see what KGF 3 brings, what Solar brings. I think they can only really get better from there, right? So
yeah, I didn't have a lot of problems with the CGI. A lot of it, like, I love how much of it was so practical and done without effects. Everything looked great. We see everything you guys are writing. I'm reading everything. So sorry if we don't mention it, but there's a lot. But we are reading everything. Kalashnikov, yeah, that scene was great.
What's your favorite scene, Cody?
I know you guys are asking for our favorite scenes. I'd have to choose through my list of like 15. Okay, one of the coolest moments. It's not my favorite, so I can't. I'm gonna say it anyway. When in that final fight where he pulls the sledgehammer out of the dirt, I was like, "It's a sledgehammer! He's doing it!" I thought the music was great. I love the music, especially when he gets out of the truck on the hill with the fake gun. You see his foot, and then the beat starts. That was great. Yeah. So.
I would say my favorite scene is there's a lot of good scenes.
I know movie. It's tough to pick. I think it would have to be the truck scene, like the fake gun, and then like the fake gun scene where everyone shoots down, and then also the whole violence. Like that was just a great scene.
Yeah, I like the final. I like the fight between him and Adira. I think that whole sequence would be my go-to.
Yeah.
Just really choreographed well, and I think the flow of that fight too was really well done. Like I could understand where that stuff. Like where the flow of it, whereas before, we were talking about how everything was kind of choppy in terms of the fighting. This was really well done, I think. In terms of KGF 3, I haven't really done much research into KGF 3. We just literally today just watched.
Well, isn't
KGF
that?
2,
I'm so I'm if I'm correct me guys if I'm wrong, but you said that's Solar. They're currently working on it, and it's like or is it actually going to be a KGF 3? Or is... You guys will have to let us know. President of the Universe, Rocky. Yes. Yeah, when she... Oh, I love that scene. When she was walking away like, no, the police will deal with it. It's not my problem. And he's like, stop! He is the biggest criminal. That was so cool. When she was like finally realizing who he was. That was great. Yeah, Solar, we'll definitely have to check that out because we've been loving these, so...
Yeah,
next
we'll
year,
definitely check it out.
We'll be in theaters, hopefully. Yeah.
All right. So, do you want to sort of hop into the
yeah, why not?
IMDb and
not KGF 3.
Well,
It's just called
Rotten
Solar.
Tomatoes.
So we're not even going to talk about Rotten Tomatoes because Luca just noticed, and I was going to mention it too. Was like obviously they're totally off, and it's not. You guys said that the majority of the Indian cinematic fan base does not go to Rotten Tomatoes for their opinions and critics. We'll have to find a better platform. So for now, we're going to be sticking to IMDb.
The audience score is worth mentioning though for Rotten Tomatoes because it has 500 plus reviews on it. So
you want to go there first? And then finish off?
No, I'm just gonna mention it. Let's just do IMDb. But it has a 94% You know, high. It's a high audience score. So, looking forward to seeing how that is.
IMDb sitting at 8.4.
Yeah, 8.4 on IMDb.
I see your recommendations, everyone. They are on our list. I recognize that name. Tumbat is on our list.
Yeah, we're gonna check out IMDb.
I personally want to see more movies with Ram from Triple R, and I know he has a movie. I forget its name, but I read the description. He's like I think it was he's hearing impaired, and it was like this story about him trying to make a change in politics. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that looked really good. He's a great actor, so I want to see more. He's also got the mustache, and I'm jealous of the mustache. So, in terms of we like to look at the chart here on IMDb because it gives us a good idea of what's going on. And wow, I forget what the last time we saw something like this was. I mean, you're looking at.
So why is it like it doesn't make sense?
Because of the stupid ones. Because people like.
Yeah, but 4% of ones is going to take it from a 9.1 to an 8.4. That doesn't make sense.
I know, it's annoying. That seems to happen every time too.
But wow, a lot of 10s.
Druva.
A lot of 10s.
I saw that.
I guess it's because people in the 18 and 29 range are giving it 8.2s. Can you just scroll down a little bit for US users and non-US users?
Yeah, we like to look at this little graph here too. So it's not that far. It's not that different.
Okay, I was just curious. So then it averages up to an 8.4. I guess that's where it kind of happens.
Prabhas, right? Was his name Bahubali?
Sahu is the one with the motorcycle thing that we're talking.
Yeah, but the actor who plays Bahubali, Prabhas.
Yes, that's right? Prabhas. Yeah.
Anything with him, anything with Ram, those actors are amazing. I want more. Same with Rocky too.
I was looking at what Rocky did, and we were talking about, sort of his rise to fame. So Yash seems to be known for a lot of romance dramas, which is really interesting to see him pivot into what K.G.F is, and I think he found his place here in playing these high-action heroes and things like that, or villains, however you perceive it. So, it'd be really interesting to see where he goes from here. Magdir, yeah, I think Magdir. We heard about that one as well.
Homeless young man, really. So he's literally like his character Rocky. He had a rough upbringing, and became a badass as an actor and as a monster. Yeah, thank you, Matthew. We noticed that too. Luca actually noticed that he did a lot of romance films.
So yeah, that's a really interesting take. Also, I forgot to mention the amount of suits that I loved in this movie.
The suits were incredible. Let me go back to the stream chat for a second so you guys can see, because I put them in. The suits in this movie.
Just pull up. I'll send you some suits.
Here, I'll go back. I'll put some suits on the screen. Send me some suits. Let's get some suits up in here.
I'll send you some suits.
Get me some suits up in here. I need some suits. No, I meant, how many were there? There must have been, at least, 15.
I don't know. He had a lot.
Yeah, no. Yeah, oh, my God, the red one. I messaged Luca when I was watching. I was like, that is the sharpest suit I've ever seen.
The red one is good.
He's got the red suit, and he's carrying the roses. I was like, I wish I can rock a suit like that. I can't. I wish I could. Let's put this. I mean, is this from the movie? It is from the movie.
Some of them I don't think will be.
But still, he's wearing a suit, and it's him, so...
I think my favorite outfit that he had was... I do love all the blues that he has.
Yeah, the gold suit, yeah.
Some of these are going to be a little bit blurry, so...
That's okay. You get the idea.
Oh, here we go. Well, this one just for the... This one for the suit. This was the thumbnail one that you did. It was
your recommendations.
The one that he had, it had almost like a splatter paint design on the front of the shirt when he was watching the Prime Minister. Really liked that. He didn't pair it with a jacket though.
Sometimes you got to get dirty, man. You don't need don't need a jacket.
Look at it, so bold.
I know.
So bold.
Oh yeah, that one. Let me put this on stream. I like that one too. Yeah. So many good suits. Yeah,
many
the
good
gold
ones.
suit. Yeah, he was wearing the gold suit when he did the violence. And then the white one with the stripes. Yep. This dude was all suits. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, we never see Yash shirtless.
Wait,
I was gonna talk about that because
don't we? No.
no, we never
When he gets
do.
shot, they
And
take off his
think
shirt.
That is like, huh?
They take his shirt off when he gets shot, but then it pans away. You don't see it. You
You don't see his body. Like, I don't. Like, it's not like, because I was just watching Triple R again last night. I went like halfway through it, and I'm like looking at Beam and Rom, and I'm like, my God, these guys got like washboard abs.
Yeah, let me get a better picture. I want to.
It's the suit without the shirt. Yeah, it's like the splatter. It almost looks like it's like a splatter paint design on it. It had a bunch of different colors and stuff. It's the scene where he's watching the Prime Minister on the TV, and she's like talking to him about her plans or whatever, like looking right at the camera in that outside interview. But yeah, love the suits in this.
Yeah.
It makes me want to get some, like, like want to get bold with some of my fashion choices here. Like gotta step up.
Yeah, grow out the hair and the beard. Was this in this movie?
I don't like his beard. Actually, like, that's a really nice beard, but I don't even think I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I can really manage all that hair. But yeah, it's just I really gotta step up my fashion after watching K.G.F. It inspires me. It makes me want to wear some suits. What was the stereotype in the West world about Indian cinema before Triple R?
Ooh, can I do this one?
We were talking. You want? Yeah, talk about it.
So, okay, from our point of view, but now, luckily, thanks to you guys, we've been introduced to so many amazing Indian films, and we've been loving them so much. But from the point of view of before you guys introduced us to these films, the stereotype from social media and YouTube from here is basically like, oh, Indian films, they have like over the top, often ridiculous CGI. And then little do you know, if you actually pay attention and go watch Indian cinema, you find out that's like one or two movies, obviously, and it's like a very niche subgenre. So it's funny because when we talk to people here and we're like, come check out the podcast, we're doing this cool Indian film. For example, we were like, Triple R, you gotta watch it. It's on Netflix. They're like, it's crazy CGI. And I'm like, no, it's a fantastic film. Don't be stuck up in the stereotype that because it's an Indian film, it's ridiculous. It's not. I think there's this misconception that like in India the movie industry is not like up to par, but it is. Like Hollywood, I think a lot of people think Hollywood's just like the only place films come from. I think that's the big problem. Because it's not just India and the United States. There's so many countries that probably have amazing films we haven't had a chance to see yet. So I'd love to. That's why we love exploring. That's why it's into the movie verse, not into the Hollywood verse.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think people just, and I think also it comes from like with I don't know how many people in the United States watch these films, but I also just think that people just can't handle like watching a movie and also reading subtitles. Like, I think people,
Thank you.
Like Squid Games. Let's just talk about Squid Games real quick because that was I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm pretty sure it's like Japanese, or I forgot what it was. But that was like one of the first things that people watched, I think, that blew up across America is, the whole subtitles thing. And nobody really, even though there was an English dub, I couldn't handle it because I can't stand watching a movie and like the words are coming out of their mouth and it doesn't line up. Korean, thank you, Darsh. It's coming out of their mouth and it doesn't line up properly. So like when we were watching this, I was like, look, I got to make sure that I watch it in Kannada because I need it to line up and look right. And it was a much more enjoyable experience when I could like look at their mouths as they were saying stuff and like it looked right. It's just a very like minimal. It's not minimal, but like it's just a subconscious thing that makes it harder. It disconnects me from the movie a little bit. Even though I watch it with subtitles and I have to go back and forth. But I actually did like the touch of them adding in some English in there. So, like, which I don't know, is that in the original cut? Did they actually speak in English, like, in the actual movie? Or is that something that they did for the international audience is like add in that stuff later. But I do want to give our thoughts on what we rank it. Yeah, I know Parasite did really well. I actually haven't watched. We haven't done Parasite. I don't know if we might watch it. I don't know yet. We're kind of having fun with this. But,
Oh yeah. Is it time to go to the new and improved?
Yes.
So
the intergalactic movie ranking system.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna end the poll because it's at 59 votes. Thank you all so much. K.G.F 2 winning at 71% for you guys prefer K.G.F 2 over the first one. 72%. Thank you to everyone. 60 votes. Thank you to everyone for voting. Much appreciated. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's time to give our review, and we have a new page. We used to have a tier list. We changed it a little. Now it's still tier
list.
Oh yeah, no, it just looks a lot better. It looked weird. So yeah, no, the friendship in RR was definitely. I mean, besides them being total badasses, that was definitely like a great thing.
Yeah, so we're going to give our ratings right now. If you guys are going to drop any questions or anything, we will get to it after the rating. Just let us get through this, and then we'll hop into your questions or anything. All right, Cody, I believe you started off, right?
Yes.
Last time, so it's my turn to start it off.
For anyone who has not joined us before, if a movie poster is next to a number and there's a point something, I think it's self-explanatory, but if anyone doesn't get it, like you see Doctor Strange under 6, it's 6.6. It's a 6.6 out of 10. That's how the system works. Just a better way for us to organize it. But if you want me to start, I shall.
Well, I was just saying, like, did you start last time?
Oh.
Did you? I think you kicked off.
I think I did. So go ahead. I mean,
it's flip-flop. It doesn't really matter who goes first, but.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah. Good night.
What was that? Yeah, good night. Peace.
I don't know how to pronounce I don't want to say the name.
MN series.
I don't know how to say I don't know.
That makes sense too, because it also helps us, Sharma, because it just obviously we're a particular case, but it's nice that the big lines are there. We can remember them easy, better when it's in English for us. But anyway, you go, Luca.
Okay, so K.G.F 2, we ranked K.G.F 1 at a 9 or 8.5, which solid score. Looking at the IMDb score, 8.2, and then they bumped up 0.2 to 8.4. I really liked that this film took it up to the next level. I liked that. The high action, the story was a little bit more flushed out. We got to see some things happen, and the ending, although some of you guys are saying you didn't like it, I think it was a good way to send off Rocky, and
it's sad.
It is, yeah. But I think if they did it any other way, it probably would have been way different. So I want to sit this movie at a. So now, okay, I'm kind of looking at Bahu 2.
Hey, you don't compare to others.
I'm just trying to think. Do I think that K.G.F 2 is just as good as Bahu? Like, I'm trying to just sort of weigh that out in my head. I don't know, I really enjoyed Bahu 2. There were some fantastic scenes in there, and I'm trying to think, does this stack up to that? I'm thinking that this is going to sit at an 8.9 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're putting this at an 8.9 out of 10.
Uh-huh.
You're pretty close to where I was. So anyway, I love this movie. I a lot more than... Not a lot more, but I did enjoy this more than the first one. Probably because of the first one, I got to meet the character and learn the story, so this one had much more of an impact on me. But there's very little I would change besides the fight scene. I actually like the ending. It sucks because it's sad, but it's like a proper... it's what that character was like, that's a right ending for him because that's what he would have done. It feels right. I was going to give this like a 9 out of 10. Solid 9 out of 10. This is...
Mm-hmm. I was just
This is up there for me.
My thinking behind an 8-9 is that, you know, if we're even though we should not compare Bahu and K.G.F.
Yeah,
whatever,
stop that.
but I'm just saying, like, you know, in terms of like the reason Bahu sits at a 9 is because of the storytelling, and you know we liked the effects in that, and it was a fantastic movie, and I would be comfortable putting it in. I think I'm comfortable with it at a 9, but my own personal score, you know, we can combine it up to a 9, but my own personal score is that it's at an 8-9. It's just a little bit better than Bahu 1, and I think it's not, you know, an 8-7, like, you know, if we were just following what IMDb did, just like tacked it up just a little bit. I just, you know, I think that Bahu, you know, given that they're both high grossing films, is just a little bit of a step up. It's just a little bit better.
I think you convinced me last episode, and I think you convinced me. I'm comfortable. No, you make a valid point. I'm comfortable. I see that, AJ. I think I want to put that as a poll when we're done here. I'm comfortable with an 8-9. I think that's fair. I think you're right. I think it's just there might be like one thing stepping, because I'm also, you got to look, if you're going to look at everything in the 9 categories, not just Bahu and Triple R, you're looking at Batman as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm comfortable because I think it's better than Bahu Chapter 1, and I think it's better than K.G.F. Chapter 1. I'm comfortable with that as an 8-9. It fits. I think it fits well there for us on our race with our opinions and our rating system. I think it fits well there. Comfortably, snugly.
Okay, so yes, I want to answer AJ's question while Cody sets that up. And
well, you want me to put a poll? That'd be a fun.
You can put the poll up. Yeah, put the poll up. There is no much of a difference between an 8-9 and a 9 in terms of, you know, where it sort of sits. It's like it's just a little bit better. Like we do the points. I like doing like the points because I feel like it's just a little bit better. Like if we're looking at it from the tier list perspective, like we have it here, like it's close. It's really close to the 9s, but it's just not quite sitting up there in that threshold just yet. While Cody sets up the poll for Ram versus Beam versus Bahu versus Rocky, man, I think I would say the rating, that's really tough because wow, I think is it, I'm guessing it's Bahu's junior, right? So it'll be, I already know what the budget is. The budget was $1 billion INR. I don't know what that is in USD, but if we're talking about Bahu Jr. or Bahu Senior, okay, Bahu Senior, I think would take out Ram and Beam, and it would be between him and Rocky.
Polls up.
Man, what a tough Rocky or Bahu Senior. I mean, I love Ram and Beam. I think those guys are really great. But they have to work together. Like,
that's true.
In order for them to be the most powerful, they have to do it together. So between Bahu and Rocky, I think Bahu Senior has a little bit more wits to him in terms of, you know, where he sits. I think he just has a little bit more fight tactics. Like, I think Rocky is just very like street, you know, like he's a monster, you know, he does whatever he needs to do. So I'm going with Bahu Senior. What are your thoughts, Cody?
Well, for everyone who hasn't noticed, there's a poll in chat, so leave your vote on who would win. In this fight, I think, like, I agree with you. I think Beam doesn't stand a chance. I think Ram and Beam need to work together to be a team that works well. So I'm gonna put them. I think they're amazing. They're, you know, I mean, whatever. I don't think they'll win that fight. Now I think it comes down to Rocky and Bahu Senior. Honestly, I'd probably have to give it to Bahu Senior. I think at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think Rocky's unstoppable, but we've seen he takes. I mean, you know, I think I think Bahu can take the punches longer than Rocky. Although obviously this is silly, but yeah, I think Bahu's gonna win that fight.
Yeah, Rocky is.
Yeah,
like he does have some similarities to Batman. Now that I think about it.
in terms of being like a vigilante, well, he's a criminal, but
yeah, 13 million. That's not a big. I mean, in terms like if we're looking at American budgets, that is not a big budget at all. So that is great to see
it's incredible
how much they can do with $13 million.
Yeah, I mean everything looked great. So, but yeah, that's
why I think Bahu Senior. He's just.
Yeah.
I think Rocky has the street cred. He's really he really knows like how to beat somebody that is sort of like on his level. But Bahu Senior really, he's innovative. I agree that he sort of plans ahead. The perspective. I want to ask from American perspective: Ryan Gosling or Chris Evans?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling he's not in. I don't see him in a lot. I think Chris Evans, you see him in a lot just because Captain America and stuff, and now he's sort of branching out after he's been done. But Ryan Gosling he's a fantastic actor. He's really, really, really good.
Give 9 movies.
So
everyone's going to think of it differently. With our system, it fits where it fits well. 8.9. It's close to an 9, very close, but there's just some things. Everyone's system's different. I can imagine.
Just real quick, somebody was King wants to know compared to Gray Man. Compared to Gray Man, this movie blows it out of the water. To be honest.
Totally different types of movies.
If you were like, do you want to watch Gray Man or do you want to watch K.G.F? I think I would rather watch K.G.F. over Gray Man. Gray Man was really good though, but it's sitting at a 7.5. It's a a little bit above average movie for us, and if we're just looking at American films, maybe it would go a little higher, but compared to the other things on this list, the 8.9 justification is because yes, it is very close to being up in that category, but the reason the 9 is there, like if we were to put it up in that category, if the story writing was just a little bit better, it doesn't. We sort of look at the CGI stuff now as we know what to expect. If the CGI blows us away, like Triple R CGI, amazing. The visuals there, even though that some of the stuff looked a little bit jank, like the tiger, the wolf, and a lot of the stuff that they did looked really, really good. The story of Triple R was really, really good. And the way that they combined literally 3 different stories together. You have the story of the friendship, and then you have the story of the 2 individuals. Meshing all that together is really hard. So with K.G.F, you have the storyline of this guy, and like we were saying, even some of the viewers are like, hey, the story is lacking a little bit. It relies heavily on the entertainment value and the action to get it by, which is perfectly fine. I'm all for that. But it just doesn't fit up. It's right there.
We explained our reasonings.
Right there. So that's why 8.9 is justified for that.
That would be quite the
Ryan and Chris for a Triple R Hollywood remake. I don't know who I would use for an American Triple R remake. I don't think Ryan and Chris have the chemistry together. I think you need somebody that has the chemistry, like they have the chemistry of like enemies really well, but they don't have the chemistry of being actually together.
They could be. I think if they're both incredible actors.
If we're gonna wrap this up soon.
Yeah, we gotta get going.
We'll answer a few more questions here. But
Gray Man, Danush, should have had more screen time. That's what we said. He wasn't in it enough.
And if Indian directors could get a budget like American films budgets, I think they could do some really amazing things.
Well, it's even cooler as they prove they
I
don't
think that's
even
the
need
only
it.
thing. The only thing that holds them back from doing, I think, what they really, really want to do is the budget. But it is. If they had it, it'd be really cool. And I think that's sort of the fantastic thing about Indian cinema is that, yeah, it's over the top action characters.
Well, just this subcategory of it.
Yeah, I mean, so okay. Somebody said next movie. We already have planned out. We're set. I think we're set on doing Pushpa. So. And
then I think Sardar Udham. After that,
and
because everyone really thinks we should really check it out. So I think I think everyone really wants it, and I think we'll be entertained. So
yeah, our best movie to date.
Well,
it's Top Gun Maverick.
To date or this year? You can't hear it because it's cutting out. He's doing the Tom Cruise laugh.
Oh,
it's cutting out. He's going.
Damn. But yeah, my favorite movie.
I can't say.
My favorite movie to date, Top Gun Maverick. Still, even after watching the Indian movies, I just think that film is really, really, really well done. I'll stand by that.
I'll stand by my top. I don't know. I got a lot of favorite movies. I'm not picky. I'll love movies everyone else hates. So, you have to really do a really bad job for me not to find something to like about it. I like seeing the good in them. Probably for me, a movie I've watched out of this list for this year, what I've seen the most over and over again, The Batman. I've thought we've never had a better interpretation of the character, in my opinion. Well, guys, we're running low on time here. We'd like to keep it under an hour so that it's not too crazy for people who want to watch it after the stream. Vikram is also on our list. We really appreciate everyone showing up. It's so great for you guys all to be talking and hanging out with us and share your opinions, because we really want this to be like a movie community, not just about our opinions, but everyone else sharing their thoughts and being nice and like having constructive criticism on movies they like and seeing the good in the bad movies, seeing the bad in the good movies. Just all around, just a community of people enjoying and studying films like this and having a good time. So it's everything you guys are saying and liking and subscribing. It's just so appreciated. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
And Rocky did win. Thank you for pointing out 60 votes again.
And so the next movie, I think actually, Nitin makes a good point. We are watching a lot of action movies, so he thinks that we should watch Sardar Udham next, just to give a little bit of a break.
We could.
So we could definitely do Sardar Udham next. Yesterday, just watched Top Gun on Netflix. Those days, Tom Cruise is very cute. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you know what, Cody? Let's switch it around. We'll do Sardar Udham next.
Okay. And then, Sardar Udham, next movie.
Thank you guys for 51 likes and wow, 40 people tuning in. This is absolutely amazing for us.
Yeah, you guys are great. Thank you.
You guys are really testing us with our time management here, trying to get our thoughts out and really trying to get the review in. So we will do Sardar Udham next. We'll give ourselves a break from high action, high octane, movies here. So we do want to keep it under an hour, just so we don't scare off too many people. Maybe
thank you.
Maybe we'll do an after hours podcast in between. Maybe we'll do one tomorrow. So I think that will be a nice reoccurring thing. So you guys can coming out with us, we could talk, and that can run for however long we want it to run. There's no time limit on that. But the after hours podcast is only going to be up for that time that we're doing the podcast. After it is done, it is not going to be there. So you have to be there or be square in order for you to experience it. So with that said, guys, we will catch you in the next one. Later on this week, Sardar Udham, expect it to be maybe Saturday or Sunday.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you guys also for 400 subs. So we will answer any questions in the comments. Please, if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. Share this review with your friends. Make sure to hit that notification bell.
Peace out, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. K.G.F 2, 8.9, and we'll see you in the next one.